this guy. We met. It was online. Did we meet online? I think we met through Instagram, actually. Exchanged numbers through Instagram. Anywho, we exchanged numbers. We talked, I think we had one conversation, like one phone conversation. And within that conversation, we scheduled to meet up to have a date within that same week. So, or I think like the next day or something. Everything happened pretty fast, right? So, the day of the date, verify everything with the guy. We meet up at the restaurant. Get there, he's a decent looking guy, older guy in his early to mid 40s. I was in my, I think like early mid 30s. And, so get there, we're both enjoying ourselves. We're having, conversations. We're talking about some of everything, right? Telling him about myself. He's telling me about himself. He's, because I told him, I'm not like a party goer. I'm not a drinker, none of that stuff. He's like, oh, no. When we do this, when we do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to have you drinking. We going to be doing this. We going to be doing that. All of this stuff. Mind you, we're there at the restaurant. The date lasted about 4 hours, right? So 4 hours. Good date, right? Good date. 4 hours. In the night with the hug, no kiss, nothing like that, because it was our first date. He actually drove me to my car because he parked. He was able to find a spot in the front of the restaurant, and my car I had to park further down. So he drove me to my car because it was raining. So he dropped me up to my car. Went our separate ways. That night we left the restaurant. It was like sometime after 1. I got home, went to sleep, whatever. Next day, called him. No, he didn't answer. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll call him later on. Called him later on. Nothing. So I shot him a text. I was like, hey, just wanted to say, had a great night the other night. Hopefully we'll be able to meet up again soon. Nothing. Next day goes. I didn't reach out. Neither did he. So it's like, okay. By that third day, I was like, let me see something. I can't remember if I called or texted him that last time, but I did one of the two, got no response, and I was like, okay, so I called my cousin, and I'm like, yo, I think I've been ghosted. I think I just got ghosted, right? And so I tell her about everything about the date, how it went, all of that stuff. Like, we literally left on good vibes, so I thought. You spend 4 hours with somebody. I'm thinking it's a good, that's a good sign. Nothing, not whatsoever, right? So I'm telling my cousin, I'm like, I think I got ghosted, and honestly, like, I'm too confused to feel any other kind of way. Like, I was so freaking confused because I'm like, it was going well, or so I thought. Like, the date went well. And so, sorry, the dog. And so I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this, because mind you, this is my first time being ghosted. And then the fact that the date seemed like it went well, I was like just completely confused. So I was like, okay, like, I've been ghosted. This is what this is, right? Okay, I know I didn't like it. And so for me, even before then, I would do my best not to ghost people. Like if I wasn't feeling you, I would give you a reason. Psst, sorry, the dogs. But I would like let somebody know, like, I'm just not feeling it, or whatever the case may be. I would let them know. But after that, I definitely was like, listen, I'm not ghosting nobody. I gotta let people know because it's not what's up, right? But I tell that story to bring me to this, talking about ghosting. Like, to me, it's crazy. If you don't like some, mind you, like he was in his 40s, okay? We're grown ass people, right? So my thing is, by that age, I would think like you should have the maturity and just be able to communicate like, okay, I wasn't, whatever it was, I wasn't feeling, so, or I just don't think this, whatever the case may be. And then, you take it from there. Now I'll see like the only time that I say like, okay, you can, like, I see ghosting somebody is, like you got legit reason, is when you tell them no, stop, whatever the case may be, and then they continue to press it. So in that situation, I would see like if he would have said like, hey, I just wasn't really feeling it. At the end of the day, I wasn't really feeling the vibe, so whatever. And then if I continued to try and press it afterwards, like, but why? But I really like you. I really want to see how this goes. Or, if I would have done that, if it would have went that way, then I can understand ghosting somebody. But to just like stop communicating, ignore calls, texts, whatever the case may be, to not like just speak on it, to me that's just a sign of immaturity, and you just or you don't know how to communicate. Granted, nobody owes anybody. Like, he didn't owe me an explanation. He didn't have to tell me, like, oh, I wasn't feeling whatever. He didn't owe that to me. So he had every right to ghost me, or to, however he saw fit to handle that. He had every right. My opinion is just that I just think it's a sign of immaturity, or you don't have the communication skills, right? But there's just so many reasons why people do ghost. I know, sometimes it's a fear of just getting into that confrontation. Like, you want to avoid it. Even if you don't know the person, you don't know how they handle things like that, you just want to avoid it at any cost. You lose interest in somebody, so you're just like, I'm not even, I don't even care to tell them. I'm just going to tell them. Just safety concerns, safety reasons. There's so many different reasons why people ghost, and I get it. Like I said, I mean, you play it how you see fit, depending on the situation, then whatever. But in that situation, he didn't have to ghost me. He didn't have to ghost me, okay? He did not have to ghost me. I'm not crazy. I'm like, you tell me you don't want me. Okay, cool. I'm not even you don't want me, but you just didn't see it. Okay, cool. Like I said, that was our first date. So it wasn't like I was hooked. It wasn't like I was, oh my gosh, this is the end of me. No, I wouldn't have cared. I was just freaking confused because the date seemed to have gone well. And here it was, I was being ghosted. And I know I'm cute. So I was confused. What about you guys? Have you ever been ghosted, or have you been the one ghosting people, and why? Like, what was your reason instead of just telling them?